Hey guys, welcome back to Deb's Journey. This is Deborah, and today's topic is one that has caused me lots of stress. And I'm sure you know already by the title of this video, we're going to be talking about our plateaus. A plateau is whenever you have stopped losing weight while you are doing a diet of any sort. And in this case, our plateaus on keto. And I want to start off this video by saying, like I have in the past videos, I am not a doctor. Consult your doctor, consult a physician before you do anything. If you have plateaued and you try these things that I've told you, what I'm going to tell you rather, make sure you always consult your doctor, make sure everything's good, make sure that you're good and healthy, that you're just good to go. All right, let's get into it. So the first reason that you have hit a plateau is that you may be consuming too many carbs. And a lot of times I have plateaued when I was eating too many carbs because I wasn't managing my macros. Again, I told you that I am sticking to, you're supposed to stick with 20 carbs on keto, 20 carbs daily. I started a little higher. I started at 30 carbs a day, and I've weaned my way down. I've cut myself off. Right now I'm at 22 carbs a day, and because I felt like my body needed a little bit more, and of course it all goes depending on your weight and that kind of thing, but I know that most everybody starts at 20 carbs a day. So the best way to manage this is to make sure that you're managing your carbs until you already learn your foods and really know what works well for your body and that type of thing, so that you're not going over your carbs. All right, next one. Too much protein. Yep, that's a thing. You could definitely have too much protein. When I first started keto, I heard somebody say, oh yeah, you can eat as much protein as you want, as much fat as you want. Wrong. You can't have as much protein as you want, because it will also turn into carbs into your body. I don't know. It's a whole thing. Look it up, I guess. But I just know this is a fact that you can eat too much protein whenever you are on keto. So that's the second one. Too much protein. All right, the third one. Too much fat. You may be consuming too much fat. Maybe adding too much cheese or too much butter or too much bacon, too much avocado even into your diet. So you might have to dial down a little bit, or maybe even too many fat bombs. Fat bombs are such a staple in my home and in a lot of people who are doing keto. It's a staple in their home, but you could possibly be overeating those, which is easy to do when something is really delicious, right? Let's dial back the fat a little bit, because it could be causing a stall in your diet. So this next one kind of goes hand in hand with eating too much fat. You can also be eating too little fat on keto. Yep, that's a thing too. Okay, you have to make sure that there's a balance. There's a balance in your eating and your diet, so that you can make sure that you have what it takes to lose the weight. And I've heard several doctors, that really promote the keto diet, say how fat does not cause you to get fat. Sugar causes you to get fat. So don't be scared to eat the fats on keto. So although you're not supposed to be drinking cups and cups of like heavy cream and butter and olive oil, and coconut oil and those types of things, but you have to cook with them and eat your fats. Remember, going back to managing your macros, that will help you be able to see how much you're actually consuming. I've mentioned to you in the past 2 videos that in the beginning I've told you not to count your macros, and that's fine. Don't count your macros. Just eat. Right now your body's just trying to get used to this style of eating. Once you kind of get comfortable with it, then you can start counting your macros. You can count your macros from the beginning, but if you're one of those that you're like, no, I just want to eat everything, on this, keto diet, I can't do this, it's too hard, I'm hungry, I'm not satisfied, well, then you need to eat as much as you want in the beginning of keto, and then you have to start managing your macros, and that's going to dial you down back a little bit as far as how much you're consuming, and it'll give you the best formula for you to be able to lose weight. So eat fat, okay? Eat it. Choose to do that. Choose to add fats to your diet. Of course, it has to be healthy fats. Again, I've already mentioned to you, what are those healthy fats? Butter and avocado, even nuts. But eating too many of those things can throw you out of, being able to lose weight. So again, managing your macros will probably be the best bet for you to be able to do this. All right, so the next one would be you may not be seeing any loss in your weight on the scale, but you might be losing inches. And that's actually like amazing. You may say, well, my clothes are fitting better, I feel better, but I don't see I don't see the scale moving. Well, if you start to measure do your measurements and keep up with your measurements, you might be surprised at how many inches you actually are losing. You really are losing. It may not be depicted on the scale, but through your inches. So remember, you're going to measure your neck, your chest, your stomach, your hips. I did one thigh and then one arm. So just keep up with your measurements, and sometimes you'll be able to see those go down whenever you're not seeing the scale go down. For women, whenever you are on your cycle and you are weighing yourself and you're noticing, even a week before your cycle or even a week after your cycle, and again right in the middle of your cycle, if you weigh yourself and you notice that your weight is fluctuating and it's maybe even going up instead of down the way that you want it to, don't get frustrated. This is just your body. During this time of the month, of course, we retain water, we're bloated, and all of these things happen during that time, and especially like we crave certain foods, and so maybe we're consuming a little bit more of chocolate or of something fatty or something, a little bit more than what we should. And so don't freak out about that. This is a natural part of life. Just know that, just continue on, just do your best to stick with your macros, and even so, don't even weigh yourself during that time. That way you don't feel, you don't feel bad, or you don't feel like, you're failing at this. So during that time of the month, our emotions are kind of running rampant sometimes, and so just calm down. It's gonna be okay. Maybe don't weigh yourself during that time. Maybe weigh yourself, 2 weeks after your cycle, where your body's kind of already, past that time of the month, and then you'll most likely see that you are starting to lose weight again. So those are some of the reasons you could be at a plateau. And I have reached many plateaus in this year of doing keto, and all I can tell you is continue. Don't stop. I know plateaus are super discouraging, and you want to give up, and you want to just, again, just throw in the towel. But continue. Do it. You can do it. If you feel like this just isn't working for you after, say, 6 months of you giving giving this a good, honest try, then try something else. Maybe keto isn't for you. But if you know in your heart that you haven't been giving it your all, you've been maybe eating things you shouldn't, or not checking to see, not checking your macros and that kind of thing, then, give it a good, honest try first. Again, if after 6 weeks it doesn't, you feel like this just isn't the diet for you, then go on to something else. Everybody has to do whatever they know works for themselves, and so that's what I encourage you with. Just keep at it. Do something. Just do something to to make sure that you go forward in your journey and not backwards. All right, so now I'm going to talk about the things that I have done to break these plateaus. Of course, I mentioned on my first few reasons of why you would plateau. I mentioned that you want to count your macros, right? Start managing them and making sure that you're staying within the limits of how much you can eat per day. And so that's my first tip on how to break a plateau. I mentioned in my other video that when I started managing my macros, that I stopped, and then I started gaining weight, and then I decided to go back to counting my macros or managing my macros, and then I began to lose weight again. So that helped me. So hopefully that'll help you. If you haven't started, then start doing that, and if you stopped, then maybe you want to go back to doing it all over again. The next one is the whoosh effect. I had no clue what this was in the beginning of this journey, but I found out that after my first plateau, I was like, what's going on here? How come I'm not losing weight? It's already been a month, but it's been like 5 weeks and I haven't lost any weight. Okay, sorry. I haven't lost any weight in this past 5 weeks. It was very frustrating for me. Then I started reading up on the whoosh effect, and they said, keep going, don't stop doing keto, just keep going, you're gonna lose weight, and it's gonna the whoosh effect is the rapid loss of weight loss after a plateau. And sure enough, within a week or so after that, I lost about 7 pounds in 1 week, and that was such an amazing feeling. It was like a whoosh. It just like it just fell off of me, and it was really amazing to be able to see that. And I finally was like, yes, I broke this plateau. And so whenever you break that first plateau, it's a really satisfying feeling. And so keep going. Don't give up, and don't say, well, I'm just gonna eat whatever and I don't care, and because it's that mentality that brings us back down to where we're gonna end up going backwards, and then you're going to feel bad about yourself again. And because I've done this over and over and over with other diets, like I've told you, I've given up so easily, and I just felt worse because I felt like a failure. But I want to encourage you to continue going. Again, first one, begin to manage your macros and to ensure that you don't overeat, and you might experience the whoosh effect. So if you just hold on for a little bit longer, you might experience that. So that could be the second way of breaking that plateau. The next one is the beef and butter fast. This is kind of a different kind of fast. What you do is, I call it the beef and butter fast. If you look it up online, it's called the beef and butter fast. And some people eat that. They eat ground beef and with 2 tablespoons of butter, and they eat that for lunch and for dinner. And I don't think they eat breakfast, or if they do, it's ground beef and butter, and it's about a cup of ground beef and 2 tablespoons of butter. I tried that the first time I did this beef and butter fast, and it worked. But I was sick and tired of it by that last day, and it's a 4-day fast, okay? But by that 4th day, I was like, oh, I don't want to eat any more meat. Like, this is disgusting. I hate it. And so I started researching, do I have to just eat ground beef? Like, can I mix it up a little bit? And so, sure enough, I tried eating other meats instead of just ground beef, and I switched it up with sausage. Again, be careful with sausage, because anything processed like that could have hidden carbs in it, so look in the back, make sure they didn't put any kind of sugar or anything in sausage. Anyway, I would eat sausage, I ate brisket, I would eat chicken, I would eat ribs, what else did we eat? Ground turkey, again with 2 tablespoons of butter. Okay, you can't have anything else. I didn't eat any kind of cheese. I think you can have avocado because it's a fat, but no cheese or dairy, any dairy, no artificial sweeteners or even natural sugars like or alternative sweeteners like stevia or Splenda, or stevia. Splenda is a fake sugar, artificial sweetener. Splenda and monk fruit and all those other ones, those I didn't have any of those on this fast. So it is kind of difficult because I do enjoy my sweets. But I did that for 4 days. Again, you eat meat and butter. It sounds really weird. It sounds like, well, I'm going to have a heart attack. You're not going to have a heart attack, I promise you. It's going to be okay. But it is kind of difficult, and it's funny because you're gonna, well, me personally, I miss like other keto foods, like the other recipes that I would see that are keto, and I'd be like, oh, I wish I could have that. I wish I could have cream cheese, or I wish I could have like a bundt cake, a keto bundt cake, or I wish I could have some fat bombs, or that type of thing. So it's funny that after those 4 days, I tend to appreciate other keto foods a little more because all I've been eating is meat and butter. But let me tell you, it works. The first time I did it, I think I did it this is my 4th time. I'm doing it now, and I'll give you those results in a little bit, or I'll tell you how it went. But I've done it 3 times in the past, and I lost 6 pounds in 1 week, or in 4 days. The first time I lost 4 pounds the second time I did it, and I think I lost 5 pounds the third time I did it. Today is my 4th day. Woo! And I'm tired of protein and butter. Are you tired, Alex? Yes. We're both tired of protein and butter. And but I had my dad smoke me a brisket, so we ate that several days in a row, and now I'm tired of brisket. But today we ate ground turkey with butter, and it was really good. So tomorrow morning I'm going to weigh myself to see what the final results are, and I'm hoping I wasn't in a plateau this week. I haven't been in a plateau, but I've been losing weight slowly, like 1 pound a week, and that's a little slower than I want. And so I figured I would do this to kind of push my weight loss along. And so as tough as it's been, I've always seen great results, and so I'm hoping the same for this time. All right, I'm almost done. So the next one would be intermittent fasting, and this is something that I have adapted to my daily life now. I was at a stall. I started to intermittent fast, and I know I've mentioned this in the past. And so what it is you give yourself a 6 to 8 hour window in the day to eat. You can eat during that time. You don't snack though. You eat lunch, and like for example, me, I eat lunch and I eat dinner. So I eat lunch at 12 and I eat dinner before 8 o'clock in the evening. And so, but I don't snack in between. And that really has helped me a lot to be able to lose weight, and I just feel better. And so sometimes I'll eat breakfast, like whenever I'm not working or something, but on the regular I intermittent fast, so I eat between 12 and 8. So that's another tip for you. Last but not least, another way that I have broken a plateau is to have a treat meal. That was not my first go-to for you, because I didn't want you to be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna just have a treat meal and then break this plateau. Try everything before you do this. Try these other things to see if they work, and if they don't, then have a treat meal. I didn't say treat week or treat day. Have a treat meal. Maybe eat keto all day, and then maybe at dinner time eat something that you really want, like just eat something that you've been wanting. And but the very next day, actually, whenever you eat this meal, you might regret it because often now whenever we have our treat meals, we feel horrible at the end of our meal. Like our stomach is hurting, like we get like a headache, like we're just not used to the carbs and the sugar. And it just depends on the meal, because sometimes it's just worth it. Are you a foodie like me, to where like food is just awesome? I don't know. All right. Anyway, so anyway, have a treat meal. Eat something that you really want, but the very next day, you're gonna want to get right back at it, and you might want to fast for maybe until noontime to eat if you're not already doing intermittent fasting. If you are doing intermittent fasting, maybe have one large meal at the end of the day, like in the evening for dinner, but fast during the day. And that way it kind of puts your body in a shock and you start to lose weight again. I've done this several times and it's worked every time for me. Again, these are things that have worked for me, and I'm only giving you these tips in hopes that they'll work for you as well. All right, friends, that is all of my video for today. If you're going through a plateau, I've been there, done that, bought that t-shirt. I know I've been there, but continue. You can do it. Try these things that I've told you to try to break a plateau. If you still can't break that plateau, then maybe see a doctor to see why you haven't. Maybe jotting down the foods that you have. Again, Carb Manager is an amazing app to be able to count all that to kind of keep up with what you're eating, and continue going. Don't lose hope. You can do this. You got this. You got it. We can do this. All right, friends, subscribe. Please subscribe. Share this video with as many people as you can. And right now I'm at 50 subscribers, and that to everybody else, to other YouTubers I see have like 50,000 subscribers, and I'm just like, wow, they have so many, but 50 seems a lot to me right now, and I hope that I'll continue, that I'll grow. And if you like seeing more content, if you would like to see more content from me, then like this video, share it, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Love ya. Bye.